Classification of ICs. In this video, we will discuss about classification of ICs. Question will come like this: discuss the classification of ICs on the basis of fabrication process, mode of operation, and write the scale of integration of ICs. So here we will discuss basically three things. One is your how we classify ICs on the basis of fabrication process. Then we will discuss how we classify IC on the basis of mode of operation. Then we will discuss about the different scales of integration of IC. First, let us discuss the classification of ICs on the basis of fabrication process. On the basis of fabrication process, ICs are classified into three categories. Number one is your monolithic, number two is your thin film and thick film, and number three is the hybrid or multi-chip. First, let us discuss about monolithic IC. Monolithic is a Greek word. Monos means single and lithos means stone. So monolithic IC is a set of electronic circuits which is manufactured in a single chip of silicon called wafer or substrate. So in monolithic IC, we basically fabricate all the electronic components in the circuit in a single chip, and the chip is basically made up of silicon, and that chip is called wafer or substrate. Now, what are the uses of monolithic IC? Monolithic ICs are used in TV circuits, computer circuits, amplifier circuits, voltage regulator circuits, and amplitude modulated receivers, etc. So there are certain drawbacks of monolithic ICs. What are the drawbacks of monolithic ICs? Monolithic ICs suffer from the following drawbacks. One major drawback in monolithic IC is the low power rating. The power rating of monolithic IC is very low because it is a very small chip. Power rating means maximum power that can be used from the device. As I have told you, it is a very small chip. So monolithic ICs are about the size of a discrete small signal transistor. It is basically monolithic IC is equivalent to the size of a transistor. So they typically have a maximum power rating of less than 1 watt. That is why monolithic ICs are not used in low power applications. What are the other drawbacks of monolithic ICs? Small range of values of active and passive components. The range of values of the active and passive components in monolithic IC is very small. And number three, the isolation between the components inside the IC is poor because because of the monolithic IC is a small chip. You will get not much more space to make the components isolated. So the isolation between the components inside the IC is very poor. There is no possibility of fabrication of inductors in monolithic IC. And number fifth, the lack of flexibility in circuit design. For making any variation in the circuit of monolithic IC, it is very difficult to change the circuit. That means there is no flexibility in the circuit design. Next, we will discuss about thin or thick film ICs. Thin and thick film ICs are combination of integrated circuit and discrete components. So basically in thin and thick films, you have integrated circuits, and integrated circuits of passive components like the resistors, capacitors, etc. And these the discrete components like your transistors and diodes, they are connected to the thin film ICs. So basically thin film IC means it is fabrication. It is a fabrication of the passive components like the resistors and capacitors. Thin film IC has a thickness in the order of 0.1 micrometer. Remember, what is the thickness of the thin film IC? It is about 0.1 micrometer, and the thickness of thick film is 1000 times greater than the thickness of the thin film. These ICs are fabricated by screen printing technique on glass or ceramic base. You have a glass and or ceramic base, and we basically use screen printing technique to fabricate the thin film and thick film ICs. And what are the advantages of the thick film or thin film ICs? Number one, passive components of wide range can be fabricated with better isolation between them. Number two, thin and thick film ICs exhibit better high frequency performance than monolithic ICs. Number three, there is greater flexibility in circuit design. And number four, thin and thick film ICs have better tolerance. And what are the disadvantages of thin and thick film ICs? The major disadvantages of thin and thick film ICs are the larger physical size, comparatively higher cost, and incapability of fabrication of active components. The active components cannot be fabricated in thin and thick film ICs. And what are the uses of thin and thick film ICs? These ICs are suitable for analog circuits. Remember, this is basically suitable for analog circuits which need high accuracy, great stability, and excellent performance. It is also more suitable for microwave circuits. For example, in microwave oven, we use this type of circuits. Now let us discuss about the hybrid or multi-chip ICs. A hybrid or multi-chip IC is fabricated on ceramic substrate carrying two or more silicon chips. The performance of hybrid IC is better than that of the monolithic IC. The circuit is fabricated by interconnecting a number of individual chips. The performance of hybrid IC is better than the monolithic IC. Hybrid ICs are used for high power audio amplifier applications. Now let us discuss about the classification of ICs on the basis of mode of operation. On the basis of mode of operation, we classify ICs into two categories. Number one is your linear IC, and number two is your digital IC. What is a linear IC? A linear integrated circuit or linear IC, or we basically it is a analog chip, is a set of small electronic analog circuits formed on a single piece of semiconducting material. The voltage and current in linear IC or analog chip vary continuously with time. In addition to transistors, analog chips include a larger number of passive components like capacitors, resistors, inductors than digital chips. In digital chips, you have more number of passive components. You have more number of active components. In digital chips, you have more number of active components like the transistors. But in linear ICs, you have more number of passive components like capacitor, resistor, and inductor, and less number of the active components like your transistors. Inductors are basically avoided in analog chip because of their large size. Because the size of the inductor is large, we generally not use inductor in analog chips. But transistors and capacitors together can do the work of the inductors. What are the main uses of the analog chips? Analog IC is used in operational amplifier. For operation like summation, subtraction, multiplication, division, differentiation, integration, etc., we use analog IC. Second important use of the analog IC is in oscillators, amplifiers, modulators, voltage regulators, multivibrators, sweep generators, analog to digital converters, etc. We also use the analog ICs in the control of the mechanical based applications like robots or the fighter planes or sockets, etc. A socket means a socket is a a socket is one endpoint of a two-way communication link between two programs running on the network. Now we'll discuss about digital IC. When a circuit operates either in on state or in off state, the circuit is called the digital circuit, and ICs based in such a circuits are called digital ICs. They found wide application in computers and logic gates. We basically use digital ICs in computers and logic gates. Examples are logic gates, flip-flops, counters, microprocessors, memory chips, etc. You will read about the digital ICs in your next units. Now we'll discuss about the scale of integration in ICs. On the basis of the chip size, ICs are classified into these categories. Number one, SSI, that is the small scale integration. It was invented in 1964, and the number of transistors used is in between 0 to 10, and number of logic gates used in SSI is 1 to 12. The second integrated circuits are MSI, or the medium scale integration. It was invented in 1968, and the number of transistors lies between 10 to 500, and the number of logic gates lies between 13 to 99. The next scale of integration is LSI, that is the large scale integration circuit. It was invented in 1971, and the number of transistors used are 500 to 20,000, and the number of logic gates used are 100 to 9,999. The next scale of integration is your VLSI, that is very large scale integration. It was invented in 1980, and the number of transistors used are 20,000 to 1 million, and the number of logic gates here used is 10,000 to 99,999. And the next scale of integration is your ULSI, or ultra large scale integration. It was invented in 1984, and the number of transistors used in ULSI is 1 million and more, 1 million to more, and the number of logic gates here used is 1 lakh to more.